everyone, and welcome back to Scandalous Media. It's Alana here, and it feels like we are right back in 2016 again, talking about the iconic feud between Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian, and Kanye West. Taylor has opened, once again, the vault to this topic in her Times Person of the Year interview, where she refers to both Kim and Kanye as trash. There is so much to digest here, and the only way to start is at the beginning, where Taylor and Kanye's issue started. Make sure to watch till the end of the video where we'll talk about what Taylor said in her 2023 Time interview. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. Tell us your thoughts in the comment section down below, and let us know if you're Team Taylor or Team Kim and Kanye. Wow, it really feels like 2016 again.
What's the song called?
It might be called Hood Famous.
Happy for you, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
In the 2009 MTV VMAs, Kanye West marched up on stage during 19-year-old Taylor Swift's acceptance speech for Best Female Video. Kanye West notoriously said the words,
"Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time."
Obviously devastated and embarrassed, Taylor left the stage, and it was reported that she was crying backstage and was heard saying she wanted to leave the event. During Kanye's interruption, Beyonce was seen mouthing "Oh Kanye" in horror, and when she went on and won the bigger award later that night, the award for Music Video of the Year, she invited Taylor back on stage to finish her earlier speech.
So I'd like for Taylor to come out and have her moment.
After years of awkwardness and tension, it seemed as if Kanye and Taylor made up and rekindled a friendship in the years that followed.
And I'm gonna let you finish. But Kanye West has had one of the greatest careers of all time.
All throughout 2015, Kanye and Taylor seemed cool. He sent her flowers, she posted about them on Instagram, they posed together at the Grammys, Kim and Taylor even stood next to each other during Kanye's speech at the 2015 VMAs, and all seemed to be good. However, tension seemed to follow after when Kanye joked about the VMAs announcing Taylor to give Kanye an award for more ratings.
You know how many times MTV ran that footage again? Cause it got them more ratings? You know how many times they announced Taylor was gonna give me the award? Cause it got them more ratings?
Taylor said that she felt like behind closed doors, Kanye is nice and supportive, but then in public he throws people under the bus to feel cool. She felt like he was very two-faced. Things stayed fine until the next year that followed, where we got the notorious phone call scandal.
Well, is it gonna be mean?
No, I don't think it's me.
Okay, then let me hear it.
Okay. It's
There are going to be people along the way who will try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame.
On February 11, 2016, Kanye debuted his new album, The Life of Pablo, at the Yeezy Season 3 fashion show in New York. He also debuted the line, On February 12, 2016, Taylor denied that he told her about the song and only asked her to release a song on Twitter. Taylor's reps told Billboard Kanye did not call for approval, but to ask Taylor to release his single Famous on her Twitter account. She declined and cautioned him about releasing a song with such a strong misogynistic message. Taylor was never made aware of the actual lyric, "I made that famous." So let's see what we have so far. On the 11th, Kanye debuted his album with the song Famous on it that had those lyrics about Taylor. A day later, on the 12th, Taylor's reps claimed that she was never made aware of the lyric, "I made that famous," and that Kanye did in fact not call for any approval, but rather asked her to release it on her own Twitter account for, I guess, a plot twist moment, which she denied doing.
So my next single, I wanted you to tweet it. It's a Good Friday, so dropping as a Good Friday song. So that's why I'm calling you, that I wanted you to put the song out.
It's important to note that this was Taylor Swift's original argument. What happened afterwards was a direct response about her argument. So after that, Kanye responded on Twitter. He said, "I called Taylor and had an hour-long convo with her about the line, and she thought it was funny and gave her blessings."
It's because it has a very controversial line at the beginning of the song about you.
What does it say?
He goes on to say, "B is an endearing term in hip-hop like the N-word." Now, the B word and the N word are both words used quite often in hip-hop, and while I can see the argument that they aren't really endearing words, I do know that they're used very, very commonly and are used in general terms.
I've thought about this line for 8 months. I've had this line and I tried to rework it every which way, and the original way that I thought about it is the best way, but it's the most controversial way. So it's gonna go Eminem a little bit, so can you brace yourself for a second?
He even made a joke to Taylor on the phone call about Ray J calling Kim a b****, which leads me to believe they did discuss that word. He continues saying, "She was having dinner with one of our friends whose name I will keep out of this, and she told him, I can't be mad at Kanye because he made me famous." I'm realizing now that Kanye is giving Taylor credit for inspiring the lyrics about her, since he is basically saying she claimed/joked he made her famous first. What is this in reference to, you may ask? The 2009 VMAs. I can 100% see Taylor using the 2009 VMAs as comedic relief with friends, and I could see her joking about him making her famous, especially if it was during a time Kanye and Taylor were cool. Although the only proof we have for that is from Kanye. I don't know about you guys, but using comedic relief after a traumatizing situation is both a valid and real thing people do. And I'm not holding it against her if she in fact said all of that at dinner to a mutual friend. I'm also not saying that if Taylor feels comfortable to joke about something behind closed doors, that it suddenly gives Kanye an excuse to go public with it. I do want to mention though that this controversial moment between them did skyrocket both Kanye and Taylor's name, especially with the internet exploding over it and making several memes about it that lasted for years. So while it was traumatic for those involved, it did put both their names in the headlines for quite a while. On February 15, 2016, Taylor won a Grammy for Album of the Year, and in her speech she said,
or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame. But if you just focus on the work and you don't let those people sidetrack you, someday when you get where you're going, you'll look around and you will know that it was you and the people who love you who put you there.
February 19, 2016, Ken Kurlick, one of the Grammy's producers, said that Taylor did indeed know about the song. He said she had an advance of the track. She commented on it in a very funny way, she's smart. He quickly retracted his comment and said the following, "Regarding my statement at the Grammys about Taylor, I misunderstood what she had told me. Under the pressure of rehearsals, rather than say that she was aware of the song, I said she has heard a track, where in fact she had not, and what she said to me didn't imply that at all."
Something fishy going on here.
Okay, go off PR team. There is no way in hell Ken switched up his statement all on his own as if he saw it differently in a dream. He said the truth and then was approached by her PR team. She knew of the song, spoke about it in a funny way, and she's very smart because during this time it became an ambush on Kanye West, which led to the events that happened in June.
Never talk about anyone, like publicly, like especially in interviews, but I was just like, I've so had it. I just felt like I wanted to like defend him in it.
June 16th, 2016, this is where things start to get crazy because Kim Kardashian exposes Taylor in her GQ interview. She said she totally approved of that. She totally knew that it was coming out. She wanted to all of a sudden act like she didn't. I swear my husband gets so much shit for things when he was really doing proper protocol and even called to get it approved. Some people are saying it's not proper protocol to record someone without their consent, but during this time Kanye was making a documentary and was recording everyone and everything. Kim continued by saying not only did Taylor know about the song, but she would even joke about it. Kim says she totally gave the okay. Rick Rubin was there, so many respected people in the music business heard that conversation and knew. I mean, he's called me a bitch in his songs, that's just like what they say. I never once think, what a derogatory word. How dare he? Not in a million years. I don't know why she just flipped all of a sudden. It was funny because on the call with Kanye, Taylor said, when I get on the Grammys red carpet, all the media is going to think that I'm so against this, and I'll just laugh and say, the joke's on you guys, I was in on it the whole time. And I'm like, wait, but in your Grammy speech, you completely dissed my husband just to play the victim again. Kim also said that the only other contact they had was a letter sent by Taylor's attorney saying, maybe an attorney's letter she sent saying, don't ever let that footage come out of me saying that, destroy it. So I'm not a Swiftie or Kanye West's biggest fan. I'm really not. But even with all my respect and admiration for Taylor, especially recently with me going to see the Eras movie and having her in my Spotify top 5, real ones on my blog know that I'm in a Taylor Swift conversion camp where I listen to enough Taylor songs to see the hype. Even with all of that, I can safely say Taylor simply got caught switching up and she just didn't like that. However you may feel about the Kardashians or even Kanye West, they came with facts to prove that this whole thing wasn't meant to be a bad thing, that there was a mutual agreement, and it was actually supposed to be an inside joke they had on the rest of us.
Okay, now what if later in the song, I was also to have said, I made her famous?
Did she say that?
Yes, it might have happened.
Oh, God. You gotta tell a story the way that it happened to you and the way that you experienced it. Like, you honestly didn't know who I was before that. Like,
or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame.
You gotta tell a story the way that it happened to you and the way that you experienced it. Like, you honestly didn't know who I was before that. Like,
Taylor switching up about it still happened, whether you want to take her side or not. Because remember, her entire argument up to this point was that nobody got approval. Not her, not her team, nobody. Her argument is that Kanye never called to tell her about the lyrics, that she was in the dark about the content of the song and was only asked to release it on her Twitter.
Song of the year type territory.
oh my God, amazing.
Yeah.
Which, that last part also doesn't make much sense, because if you didn't know about the song, what was the context of posting something on your Twitter account?
I wanted you to tweet it.
I guess it would just be people would be like, why is this happening?
Well,
I think it had something to do with it, probably.
Well, the reason why it will be happening is because it has a very controversial line at the beginning of the song about you.
What does it say?
Obviously, Taylor isn't going to give Kanye free promo by posting a random song of his. She had to know it involved her, and a person would only assume that they reached out about the song when asking her to post it. So even then, Taylor's argument about this falls flat, but as always, there is more. On July 14, 2016, Kim expressed her thoughts about what's going on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
She legitimately, quote, says, as soon as I get on that Grammy red carpet, I'm gonna tell all the press. Like, I was in on it.
Or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame.
Like, he called her, spoke to her. She even helped him, like, rewrite, you know. Yeah. It's so wild.
I'm gonna send you the song and send you the exact wording and everything about it, right? And then we could sit and talk through it.
Then, on July 17th, 2016, Kim and Kanye gathered up all their proof and went public on Snapchat. In the video, Kanye says,
so it says, to all my South Side that know me best, I feel like Taylor Swift might owe me.
That's not mean.
Okay.
To which she responds back saying,
I feel like right now I'm like this close to overexposure.
And he says,
oh, well this one is, I think this is a really cool thing to have.
I know,
definitely.
I mean, it's like a compliment kind of.
You know, like I got like shit on my album where I'm like, I bet me and Ray J will be friends if we ain't let us say.
Like, no. I mean, I need to think about it because I just need to, like, you know, you hear something for the first time and you just need to think about it.
Yeah.
Because it is absolutely crazy. I'm glad it's not mean though. It doesn't feel mean. Anything that I do becomes like a feminist think piece. So I don't know. I mean, the launch thing, I think it would be kind of confusing to people, but I definitely think that when I'm asked about it, of course, I'd be like, yeah, I'm the biggest fan. I love that. I think it's hilarious. I think if I launch it, honestly, like, I think it'll be less cool. Because I think if I launch it, it adds this level of criticism.
Now, I will agree that she seems like she's treading very carefully on dangerous waters. She might even be confused and uncomfortable with the next move to take, but all throughout the phone call she is thanking him for giving her a heads up and even saying, I don't think anybody would listen to that and think, oh, that's a real diss, like she must be crying. Taylor wouldn't be saying stuff like that if the lyrics were about friendship bracelets and cupcakes. Obviously, she's had to have heard the part about her because she even tells him to go with whichever lyric he likes best.
That's the only thing about that line is that it's like, it's just the feminists are gonna come out. But I mean, you don't give a so.
He says, what I give a about is just you as a person and as a friend. Taylor says, that's sweet. Then Kanye says, I want things to make you feel good. I don't want to do rap that makes people feel bad. Which then Taylor responds,
go with whatever line you think is better. It's obviously very tongue-in-cheek either way.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you telling me about it. That's really nice.
Oh, yeah. I felt I just had a responsibility to you as a friend, you know.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Like, the heads up is so nice.
Mm.
Like, you'd be surprised how many people just do things without, like, even asking or seeing if I'd be okay with it, and I just really appreciate it. Like, I never would have expected you to, like, tell me about a line in one of your songs, but that's really nice that you did.
Whichever way you want to spin the phone call, it's very obvious that Taylor was more than supportive and approving about what she heard. The part about him and Taylor having sex was caught on camera and played back for her, which was when she said the whole thing about being overexposed. Now, Taylor's team woke up that day shook because that footage was never meant to be released, so Taylor's team pulled on straws to get a new narrative going.
It's kind of like it's not as funny when other people call you a name.
She replied on Instagram saying, where's the video of Kanye telling me he was going to call me that in his song? It doesn't exist because it never happened. You don't get to control someone's emotional response to being called that in front of the entire world. Of course, I wanted to like the song. I wanted to believe Kanye when he told me that I would love the song. I wanted us to have a friendly relationship. He promised to play the song for me but never did. While I wanted to be supportive of Kanye on the phone call, you cannot approve a song you haven't heard. Being falsely painted as a liar when I was never given the full story or played any part of the song is character assassination. I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative, one that I have never asked to be a part of since 2009.
That is the loveliest and best way to be interrupted, by the way, just people chanting your name. It's really the only way to be interrupted. And I would know.
The funny thing is, during her leaked phone call with Kanye, she is talking about what seems like the lyrics, I made that bitch famous, which was in reference to what happened in 2009. During the phone call, Taylor says, you've got to tell the story the way it happened to you and the way that you experienced it. Like, you honestly didn't know who I was before that. It doesn't matter if I sold 7 million of that album before you did that, which is what happened. You didn't know who I was before that. It's fine. Talking about him interrupting her on stage. She was very mature and understanding on the phone call, but it's still not that shocking to see how bad the song ruined their already rocky friendship. I also agree that Kanye doesn't seem like he holds onto loyalty and he pushes boundaries. I can see why with Taylor she feels like she can't trust him because he does give off the I'm gonna push your buttons and see which one makes you explode attitude. So she was clearly talking about the 2009 VMAs, and that is the context behind the lyrics I made that be famous. She even talks about that line a little more clearer by saying, are you gonna be like, yeah, she does, it made her famous, you know? But it's more provocative to say like, still have. It doesn't matter to me, there's not like one that hurts my feelings and one that doesn't. So she's clearly aware of the lines used in the song because she mentions the famous part and the sex part. I will say though, in the videos there is no mention of him calling her that bitch. But who's to say it wasn't just cut out? Maybe he never told her, maybe he did. At that point I feel like it doesn't matter. I mean, you are setting up the stage to play a joke on the world. The lyrics, as you claim, don't hurt your feelings, and you even had an idea on the Grammys red carpet that you were gonna be like, haha, joke's on you guys, he called me, we're all in on it. But yet your entire argument suddenly revolved around one phrase that you may or may not have been told about. That phone call alone revealed to the world that Taylor's original argument might have been a lie. The one about not getting approval for the song and not being told seemed like it was a lie. She said earlier the only mention she ever had of the song is when he wanted her to post it on Twitter. But then Kanye said, that's not true, we had a whole hour conversation about this, and then they posted the clips to prove it. The argument doesn't really go much farther than this, and during that phone call, Kanye was very much like, I respect our friendship, I respect you, I don't want to hurt your feelings, or make rap music that makes anyone feel bad.
Because it is absolutely crazy. I'm glad it's not mean though. It doesn't feel mean. But like, oh my god, the build-up you gave it, I thought it was going to be like that stupid, dumb, like, but it's not.
And she is very much agreeing that her feelings aren't hurt and she's happy he ran it through her. Clearly not what she was saying on February 12th when she said nobody got approval. That's where the confusion lies, and this was why so many people were mad at Taylor, because from that point and in that sequence, it does seem like she got caught. I'm not going to sit here and agree that she deserved to have any of this happen to her, and if there was no phone call, then she would be 100% in the right to be upset about how she's being spoken about. But because he ran it through her, and there's an entire phone call to prove that they had a discussion, and she gave the okay multiple times and told him to go with whatever he liked best, and nothing about this is hurting her feelings, it seems like she was the one in the wrong when you add all of that up. I will tell you right now that Taylor Swift is not generally an evil person, but like some of us, she can be a liar and she can be very manipulative, and she even says so in her own songs. Just take a look at the lyrics from Mastermind or Anti-Hero. It's all in there, she knows she can be like this, but there's just too much pride for her to let this thing go. This event where she so obviously got caught switching up still haunts her till this day, and it honestly might be the perfectionism in her, but I think the world has moved on and she doesn't need to still act as if her career was stolen from her. If anything, she, once again, got the last laugh. Taylor is a good person, but that's when it comes to her personal life, like family, friends, even to her fans. But business-wise, she's a very different story. She has a full team of lawyers, publicists, and overall very powerful people in her circle ready to attack whenever. She'll do anything to keep a certain narrative up, she can be very bitter, and will hold a grudge and can be extremely two-faced. I say this as a new Taylor admirer, so put your weapons down. I'm part of the gang, sort of, but I'll always say facts no matter what my feelings are about a person. Look at what Taylor did to Katy Perry when she organized a whole scheme to end her career. Or look at what she's currently doing to Olivia Rodrigo. I have multiple videos on that and more coming soon. It's just who she is. I would respect her as a person more if she didn't do the things she does. So many celebrities get destroyed in feuds and keep it moving. Taylor, as usual, gets the last laugh, even if she's 100% in the wrong. I do understand that in order to succeed, sometimes you have to act this way, but Taylor acts this way whenever she feels threatened, even if it's just the nature of things. Taylor has a history of feuds that usually revolve around her stomping around others because she feels attacked.
Relationships are more important than punchlines, you know?
Yeah.
About this topic, Taylor mentioned it yet again in March 2020. So in March, the leaked phone call resurfaced as things usually do on the internet, and Taylor, clearly still triggered, posts on her Instagram story, "Instead of answering those who are asking how I feel about the video footage that was leaked, proving that I was telling the truth the whole time about that call, you know, the one that was illegally recorded, that somebody edited and manipulated in order to frame me and put me, my family, and fans through hell for 4 years? Swipe up to see what really matters."
You okay, bro?
I have no idea what I just read. How sheltered is Taylor that this issue with Kanye from 2016 has rocked her world so bad? And how sheltered is she to say that it put her, her family, and fans through hell for 4 years? I mean, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but my god, you were not in hell for 4 years. You released an entire album about this situation a year later, went on to break multiple records, and then went on a very successful world tour. The Reputation era is one of my favorites, so I'm actually happy about it. And it was the best set on the Eras tour, so yeah, me and Taylor both got something great out of that. Also, she's rambling about this mid-pandemic. March was one of the worst months for the COVID-19 pandemic. You were claiming that you want to talk about what really matters, but the whole thing got overshadowed by you talking about Kim and Kanye. This was Kim's response. And now, almost 4 years later, Taylor opens up about this situation again. The year is almost 2024. The phone call drama happened 7 years ago, and now Taylor is calling both Kim and Kanye trash. Taylor says, "Make no mistake, my career was taken away from me."
That is not true at all.
You are the biggest pop star currently, and I'm happy she was able to turn things around, I really am, but she's so dramatic. I mean, sure, you got mass cancelled, but so has everyone and their mother, especially with the rise of social media. You yourself have gotten people mass cancelled, and some have never recovered. She then says, "You have a fully manufactured frame job and an illegally recorded phone call, which Kim Kardashian edited and then put out to say to everyone that I was a liar. That took me down psychologically to a place I've never been before. I moved to a foreign country. I didn't leave a rental house for a year. I was afraid to get on phone calls. I pushed away most people in my life because I didn't trust anyone anymore. I went down really, really hard." And listen, I sympathize. Scandalous media team isn't fully heartless, you know? But like I said, what comes around goes around. I can like and support Taylor. I mean, for the first time ever, she's in my top 5 on Spotify. But she was going around town manipulating and trying to take out little plans on everyone in order to get justice for herself, and she got hit back big time. What she did to Katy Perry was insane, and Taylor will tell you she was just defending herself, even though she mass bullied Katy and got a bunch of other celebs to do the same. She even tried to do the same thing with Calvin Harris, where he said, "I won't let you push me around, I'm not Katy." Then she tried it again with Kanye, and unfortunately for her, Kanye records his entire life and wasn't scared to release things. Simple. Many people think she's talking about this again because there is a highly anticipated re-release coming out, which is the Reputation Taylor's Version album. She even has tracks from the vaults that she's releasing. She says that Reputation is like a goth punk moment of female rage at being gaslit by an entire social structure. I've listened to Reputation. There is nothing rage or punk about that. Well, that's it for this video. Let us know down in the comments below your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notifications, and as always, I'll see you next time.